In today's video, we'll be dealing with Revit for complete beginner. Let's assume you have never used Revit before. This is the first day you are using Revit. In this training, you don't need the knowledge of AutoCAD to use Revit. A lot of people have been asking me whether they need to know AutoCAD before they can use Revit. The answer is no. You can learn Revit without AutoCAD. So without further ado, let's get started. Now I have launched my Revit. All you need to do to launch your Revit as a beginner is simply double click on it, on the icon on your desktop, or right click on it and click open, and it will launch the application. And once the Revit application is launched, you are going to see the files you have worked on in the past. And if you have not been working on any project, what you'll be seeing are Revit templates. All right, so if you want to start working on a project, you see under this model you see open. Open meaning you have already worked on some project and you want to continue with that project. New meaning you want to start from a fresh environment where you have never worked before. Then when you see this one, you see families. The same thing we can do with project, we can also do similar thing with families. We can open an existing family or we can open a new family. All right, so let's assume we want to start from a new project, that this is the first day we are learning Revit and we want to start. So you are going to click on this new, then here you click on browse and you are going to select one of these. Let's assume I select construction default, click open and click OK. We have opened our fresh environment. So what you are seeing here are called elevation markers. They are the one that give you your elevation. So ensure that whatever you are working on should be within this place. And if the project you are working on is probably a bigger project, in that case you are going to be moving all these elevation marker backward so that they will be able to view your project. Now if I click on this at the tip, you see a small line will appear. Do you see this small line? This small line is actually the one that gives you your elevation. This one is just a symbol that shows you the location of that line. All right, then by default this one is always under here. If you are opening your Revit for the first time, this is called project browser. Is always under property palette. This one is called property palette because here we can change the property of our model element. We can change the property of walls, doors, windows, whatever you are working on. If you want to change the property of that particular thing, here is where you change it, and that is why we call it property palette. So you can actually dock your project browser to somewhere here, anywhere you want it. All right, so as you can see I've already docked my own here. Moving it and placing it to a position you like is what we call dock. All right, then here all these tools you are seeing, this is called ribbon. Then at the top of the ribbon you see all these clickable letters or all these clickable words. These are called tabs. There are different tabs: architecture, structure, steel, precast, and all of them. Some of them we use them frequently, and we do not use some of them frequently. All right. Then this line you are seeing here is called quick access toolbar. This is where you can easily access some important tools like saving your project, going to new window, changing windows, and going to 3D, writing text. Probably that is why it's called quick access toolbar. All right. Then I want to show you one important thing that you can see on the Revit user interface. You see this small button here. You can use it to change the way your interface look like. Most of my students, most new students, most of them normally click on this, and then you will see that the two have disappeared. You see, you can use it to minimize your working environment. If I click on it now, you see some of the tools have disappeared. It's as if they have disappeared. It's not that they have disappeared, but they are minimized. Probably Revit provided it so that if you want to have a good drawing area, so that you can have a bigger drawing area. So if you want to bring it back, all you need to do is to click it again. If I click, it will change the way it will look. If I click again, it will change it again. We call it toggle. And if you click on this drop down, you can be cycling through them. Probably I want this one. You see the way this one look. If you don't like it, click on this. So you can customize it to the one you like. You see, this one doesn't have icon. It's only tab that it has. I prefer this. Yeah, because the tools are available, the icons are available, and the letters, the description are also available. All right. Now you will also see some tools here that are very useful. We'll be explaining some of these in the course of this training. Then there are some tools that are also here that are very useful, that will be explaining them. All right. Then there are some tools that we use regularly in Revit. So most of those tools are under modify tab. So I'll click on this modify now. And as a beginner in Revit, you have to be familiar with all these tools because we use them too frequently. If you are not familiar with these tools, you will not be able to design anything in Revit. And the most important of them is moving tool. With this tool, you can move object from one place to another. And this is another one, copy. You can use it to copy things in Revit. Then this is rotate, to rotate things in Revit. This is trim to corner. This is extend / trim. You can use it to trim. You can also use it to extend, whether line or wall. Then this is the multiple version of this. And this one is scale. This is array. This is mirror. This is another mirror. You can see we have two mirror here. This is offset. For those of you that are familiar with AutoCAD, you know what offset is. Okay, we'll go into detail later. Then this is align tool. So you have to be very familiar with these tools for you to be able to design and model efficiently in Revit. All right, so as a beginner, the first thing you need to do when you want to start your design is to create levels, or before you can even create levels, you need to change the unit. If probably the template you are using is not the kind of unit you are familiar with. For example, this one is given in feet and inches. If I want to change it to metric system now, metric system are millimeter, centimeter, meters. But when you are seeing feet and inches, that is imperial system. So for me to change it to metric system, all I need to do is to go to manage tab. If you go to manage tab, click on, you will see this tool called project unit. Click on it, then you go to length, click on length, then on this drop down, click on it, then you can now change it to millimeters if that is what you are conversant with. Then you click OK. From that moment, your project unit will be changed to millimeter. Can you see? All these have been changed to millimeter now. Very good. So if you want to start creating your level, you go to one of the elevations on the project browser. I told you before that this is a project browser, so you go to any of these elevation will work, either elevation or section, but we have not created section yet. So since we have not created any section, we don't have any section for now. But if you have a section, you can create level on a section. But for now, let's go to elevation. One of the elevation, I want to go to south. South is the one that is directly backing us. Okay, so from the Revit template, we already have some default levels that follow our template. And from what you are seeing here, level 1 is the natural ground level. You can see it's labeled 0 and level 1. Then you also have some that are below the natural ground level, which take care of the foundation. So for us as architects, we are not too concerned about the substructure. We are not too concerned about those things that happen below the surface of the soil. So I am going to be deleting these ones. I don't always leave them because I don't use them much. It is structural engineer that use them a lot. Okay, so we have some level that are left now. From here, you can start creating your own. Depends on the kind of design you want to produce. Okay, let's assume I want to have the height of my damp-proof course as 600 mm. I can decide to bring this level down, or I create another one. All right, whatever I choose. If I choose to bring it down, in that case, I either use the tool move or I use this one. I can change the dimension here by clicking on it and change it to 600. Then I press enter on my keyboard. You can see it has come down. Okay, so if I want to create another one now, all I need to do is simply select one of these, and the moment you select it, you see all these two will be active. The one we'll be using is this one, which is called create similar. Create similar meaning you want to create something that is similar to what is already existing. So let's select this create similar. Correct. Now at this point, you can see our cursor is now active. We can draw any position we want to draw it. We can start from here, but to be more professional, I don't want to draw anyhow. I want it to be the same length as what is already existing. And for me to be able to achieve that, I'll be using this, which is called pick line. I use pick line a lot. So with this pick line, I can pick what is already existing. All right. So for me to be able to pick this, I need to set the distance between this and what I am going to create. So to do that, set the offset value to something like 150. That is the thickness of our DPC, damp proof course. Okay, we have established that. Correct. Then the next one will be the headroom for the first floor, and of course the height of our headroom should be 3600 mm, and let this be checked so that you create the plan view for that particular level. Okay, so as you hover your cursor on this existing level, you see a dotted line above showing you that the next level you are about to create now will be created there. Very good. So if I click now, you see it has been created at the exact point. Okay, so I want to create another one. To create another one now, let me specify the distance from the already existing one, which is 150, and I click here. That one has been created. Okay, so if I want to create another one, before then let me move this one up a little bit. So you can see the command is still active. For me to go out of this command, if I click now, you see that another one will be created on top of this level. I don't want that. If I continue to click now, you see levels will be created on top of levels. So let me undo that. I don't want that. So for me to exit from that command, all I need to do is to click on this arrow here. Now no command is active again. Now that there is no command that is active, you see the symbol of the cursor now is showing as arrow, similar to what we have here, meaning there is no command. So as a beginner in Revit, always observe your cursor. If your cursor is like this, it means there's no command on. And if you want to be sure that there is no command on, just go here and click on this modify, and all the commands that are on will be exited. So you can now pick up another command. Okay, so another command that I want to pick now is I want to move this one up. For me to move it, all I need to do is to select it and pick move to, grab it from anywhere and move it to any distance I want to move it. Let me click OK. Okay, so I've moved it up. I don't want this video to be too long, but I believe you have benefited something from the training today. So we'll continue in our next video. And if you want to gain access to the advanced modeling technique, I have a course in Revit. All you need to do is to tap on the link in the description of this video, and it will take you to where you can learn more about my paid Revit tutorial masterclass. And inside that course, you will be added to our exclusive support group, where you will be able to ask me questions. You will be able to download my Revit family template. You'll be able to download all my bonuses. There are over 20 bonuses there. So I'll be happy to welcome you one of these days. So if you want to go far in modeling, why not pick up that course? It's quite affordable. Hope to see you there. Bye.